So today I got the wood stove roaring in the background and my back is sweating because that fire in the middle of September, it's probably like 15, 16 degrees outside Celsius. Still quite warm, but we're going to be using the wood stove, and we want to use the oven. Now when it comes to using the oven, it's a totally different heat than your conventional electric oven. So we're going to be making mac and cheese, a very basic and traditional recipe that I grew up with and many Newfoundlanders grew up with. But today we're going to put a twist on it. I've made this several times with this one extra ingredient, and people are fascinated wanting the recipe when it's just one extra ingredient. This is the back of the package. I'm not going to show you the front yet. You're going to be surprised with just a spoonful. Now we're going to be doing two batches. We're going to be making a very large batch of mac and cheese because I love vacuum sealing portions off this mac and cheese and freezing it. I love it warmed up again, and so we're going to make quite a bit today. We're going to be using the cast iron pot. We're going to be putting it in the oven, and the heat from the oven with the wood stove heat, totally different. It's going to, when Mom first tried the mac and cheese that I made in this oven, she said that's exactly how Mom made mac and cheese. So it reminded her of her mother's mac and cheese, my grandmother's mac and cheese, because the heat is totally different. And this is why chefs, real chefs, uses propane heat, similar to the wood heat. It doesn't drop. Your electric oven will go up in temperature. Even though you got it set to a specific temperature, it'll go above that, then shut off, and it'll drop below it before it cuts back in. So you got a very range there. Even though your temperature is set right here, it has a range where it goes above, cuts out, goes below, cuts back in. So it's a drop in temperature. And when you're dealing with certain foods, especially if you're baking with cakes and things like that, your temperature makes a huge difference in taste, especially mac and cheese, because that cheese is going to melt differently. Trust me. Even eggs on the wood stove taste different. And a lot of people, when they go camping, they say, boy, I love doing breakfast in the camper over the stove. It's just, for some reason, tastes different. And they think it's just the feeling of being outdoors, the feeling of being camping. They think that has a lot to do with it, but it's actually the heat from the burner. It just doesn't drop. Things cook differently. And until you really tried it and started having a lot of foods cooked over the wood stove or in the wood stove oven, that's when you start realizing, yes, there is a huge difference. It's not a feeling that I'm outdoors and it just tastes different. Even over the open fire, the campfire, things taste different. And that's why I love using this oven, especially for mac and cheese, baked beans. It just tastes so much better. So that's what we're doing today. We're going to do a very large batch. We're going to freeze it. We're going to enjoy it. And we're going to tell you about that one special ingredient. But first, we're going to get our macaroni into the pot. We don't want our macaroni to stick on the bottom. We're going to keep stirring it occasionally. So we don't want our mac and cheese to be overcooked, because it's also going to cook further when it's placed in the cast iron pot, placed in the oven. Al dente, that's the style that we want. A little bit of an hard texture, but not too hard. It's almost like it's almost there, but not quite. So we're going to go with some lactose cheese, getting very soft here next to the fire. We got 3 packs. Hopefully it's enough. Now, if you ever hear me mention, oh, it's lactose cheese, you know what I mean, right? You know it's lactose free, right? You know what I mean, right? Lactose free, right? I'm not gonna say all the time, oh, it's lactose free. I'm gonna say, you know, the milk I'm using is lactose. The cheese I'm using is lactose, and that's how I describe it. So we're gonna cut this up into slices. We're gonna layer our mac and cheese. We're gonna be using some really good milk, Some may say yes, some may say no. But I don't want to cheap out on the milk, and that's why I'm not using lactose-free milk for the mac and cheese. I've used it for our cod au gratin that I made, and it's just not the same. Although it was good, and I didn't cough for a week because I do have an allergy. But I have severe coughing if I have too much dairy. So just a little bit of dairy here. Hopefully it won't have too much effect on me. So we're going to be slicing up this soft cheese that the heat here in the garage as really, really warm. But you know, it's getting cooler. It's fall weather. So it's getting cooler outside, which is still nice. We still got the outdoor kitchen we're going to be using all fall. And even in the winter, we'll still use it. But it's nice to be able to get inside too and do some cooking with the stove. I did get some firewood delivered this week, and that's a project now for October when it's a little cooler outside. Getting that sawed up into chunks and getting it packed up for the winter. I am not looking forward to that. I always hated packing up wood, as we call it, when I was younger. I hated it with a passion. I really did. And as an adult, I still don't like it too much. And with Dad, you know, like Mom said in the last video, oh, if you gotta put it this way, you gotta put it that way. Why are you putting it this way? And there is a right and wrong way. Don't get me wrong when you're packing up wood. I mean, every junk got a bigger end and a smaller end because the tree is bigger on the bottom and it goes smaller at the top. Common sense, right? So each junk, one end is bigger, one end is smaller. So if you pack up all your wood, let's give a demonstration. Now that's a little bit over exaggerated, but say you've packed up all your wood this way, all right? What's going to happen? Your wood's going to fall over, right? So you got to pack up your wood, big end in, the next junk, the big end out, and this one, you might have to do the same thing again to try to get it level on top. See that? And that's how you pack up your wood. And I mean, it's junks. It's probably 12 inches long or so, a foot long, maybe a little longer, maybe 14 or 15 inches long. And that's how you pack it up, because if you go one way like this, your wood's going to topple over. Your entire pile is going to fall over. So that's how you do it properly. Now, even if it's just slight difference, leaning a little bit, might not even be leaning. Dad might say, why are you putting that junk like that? That junk has to go the other way. And that just irritates Mom to the bitter end, right? For me, you don't usually say it to me because I would just say, okay, you can do it. I can walk away. Or I can stay here and help you. You know, your choice. So, Mom just feels trapped and she'll just shake her head. It's like, what's the difference? So, we do have 7.5 cord of wood. So we're really got a lot of wood. More than we're going to burn here to winter. But it's nice to have extra. Let's stir that one more time because, like I said, we don't want it to stick on the bottom. Sometimes I forget. We're going to taste one. I can tell right away it's not there. Oh my. It's getting there. It's definitely getting there. And just those few seconds against the wood stove, my legs, like just to touch my legs, it's hot. Beautiful wood stove. If I ever live long enough to have my own place, which that's what I'm working towards, building my own home on my land, I'm having a wood stove. You know, after having this wood stove here, I want that to be able to cook on. And, you know, wintertime, having that wood heat, that's what I want. I want to build my home where it's very, very cost efficient. And because, you know, I'm doing it for retirement. So I don't want to be spending all kinds of money unnecessary amounts of money each month on hydro, food, things like that. This must be sharp, is it? Tastes, or old, I should say. It's a bit sharp. So yeah, that's why I want to be able to grow more vegetables. My vegetables did not grow at all this year. I did get some potato. The turnip was late growing and nothing else sprouted. We had a very dry, extremely dry summer, and by the time I put my seeds in the ground, we didn't have any rain. So, you know, your seeds needs water in order to sprout, and you know, it wasn't a good season. My ground was very hard, very compact, so I got to look into that in the spring and what I need to add to the ground to be able to loosen it up. And I'm going to buy some soil kits and see what else my soil is lacking, or if that's too much one thing. So that's the plan for the spring. Big plans to change the outcome of this year. I really need a artesian well, but you know, that's anywhere from $10,000 to $15,000, and it's just not feasible right now to do that. But that's what I really need there. Now that's 2 packs, smaller condensed packs that we're used to. I know it's not going to be enough, but I think we're going to leave that for now. We're going to check the macaroni one more time. And just like that, it's done. So now we're gonna hot. Live and learn. Use gloves. There we go. Right over there. We're gonna get the pot up here, and we're gonna start layering it. So we got the pot. We're going to start layering this. So we're going to start layering our macaroni. Now I oiled this pot. We keeps it oiled because we don't want it to rust. We're going to be using all this macaroni. It's a full pot full. Two scoops, pretty good. What do you think? How many scoops do you think is in this pot? So we're definitely going to, when I stand up for this, going to layer this. I'm definitely going to need that other one. And this is all we do. Just layer it. Very simple, very basic mac and cheese. And I want this layer to be fairly thick, okay? Because this is going to be our crust. This is going to be our crust. Sometimes it's hard to get lactose cheese. I got a camera just shut off, which is good. I'm not using it. So I want this layer to be thicker. So we're not going to cut any thin pieces, because we want a nice brown crust. And that's what I love about mac and cheese. And people might say, well, that's too much cheese. It's mac and cheese. There's gonna be cheese, all right? Now, I can't go too thick because that's fairly thick. That's really thick. I gotta make sure I get enough to finish this. That's thin, that will go next to the big chunky one. And there. That's a nice size one. Not overdoing it. There we go. There we go. So I haven't told you about the special ingredient. There we go. We're going to have enough, but it's going to be barely. So relax when you use 2 big packs of cheese for your mac and cheese. Relax, relax. I'm not eating this full pot in one sitting. Maybe 2. No. A lot of it's going to be frozen. So just relax, calm down. You don't need to talk about diabetes. You don't need to talk about blood pressure. This is a big pot. This is going to do quite a few meals, actually. So a lot of times, if I'm on snowmobile, if I'm having a little fire, if I'm up to the camper and want something to eat, something that I can warm up, because I can do it all in the camper, or if I'm out fishing, I like to have a little boil up. Mac and cheese goes very nice with a good boil up. So places that might have been using thin pieces, we're going to chop this up. That's sharp. That's good. Very sharp. So the pot is ready. We're not going to cover this in the oven. The macaroni is already cooked. We just want to melt the cheese and give a beautiful brown crust on top. With the oven, we're going to be cooking it longer than a conventional oven. Definitely. Actually, I might not have to. I got the oven up on 425, so we might not have to have it in there very long. So with these 2 packs, what we're going to do, we're going to open our milk. We're probably going to use 2 cans. Because I use 1 can per pack of macaroni. So would 2 cans be too much? That's the question. That is the question, isn't it? So let's see. I thought this was the good can opener. I guess it's not. Some people say, why are you using a can opener? So I'm going to use 1.5 cans. Special ingredient. Where do we have you put? The special ingredient. Oh, did you see it? You're not going to believe it when you see it. Not going to believe it. Guys, ranch seasoning. Powdered ranch. We're going to add 2 tablespoons to the milk. I don't think there we go. Don't think I went down far enough to open it up. Now normally 1 box of macaroni, I would only use 1 tablespoon. It's kind of like an heaping one. And then just 1. So you can go with 2, you can go with 2 even ones, or 1 heaping one and 1 even one like I just did. And we want to stir this up. Now this usually floats to the top of the milk. even after it was mixed up, but we want to get rid of all those clumps. You can whisk it if you want. But we really want to incorporate it all through the milk because we want to get this ranch seasoning all throughout our mac and cheese. So starting to stick to the bottom, remove it from the bottom, push it to the sides, get a whisk it up. I think that's what I'll do. Dirtying up more dishes and Mother's not here to clean it. Mother's not here to clean it. That means I have to clean it. So we're gonna whisk it because we want to get rid of those clumps. So yeah. Very simple, isn't it? Ranch seasoning. I have a link in the description where you can get it on Amazon. If you can't find it in your own grocery store, just make it easier for you. And we're going to pour this all over the top of our mac and cheese. There we go. Get it to every crevice. Get it along the sides. Get it in the middle. Just dump it. There we go. You know, some of this is going to evaporate. We clean that after. We're going to stick this in the oven. We're going to keep the cover of it. We're going to take it out after the top gives a nice brown, crispy cheese topping. That's what we're looking for. A lot of people mixes the cheese in, does a cheese sauce, and it all tastes great, don't get me wrong. But this is what I love the most. Now, without the ranch seasoning, that's my traditional way of doing mac and cheese, and that's what a lot of Newfoundlanders are used to. Some will put breadcrumbs on top. We don't do that either. We don't spruce this up, except for now I'm doing it with a twist because I do make this once in a while, and especially when I'm giving it out to family and friends. They have no idea what this ingredient is. They think it's multiple ingredients. Like they want the recipe. That's all you got to do. Totally changes the taste. It is delicious. Don't get me wrong. I think you should try it. Try it at least once. Let me know what you think. Let's get this in the oven. Oh, good Lord. Oh, good Lord. We got a roaster in there. I know that's not good and hot. Right in the back. There we go. So while we're waiting for our mac and cheese to cook, guess what I got come on Amazon? I'll leave a link in the description for this one as well. You've heard Mom talk about this in previous videos. Something she needs to have. Put your chicken breast in there, put this down, and you twist, and it's supposed to shred your chicken breasts. Another gadget she wanted, I ordered it. She don't know I got it because she's still asking for it. Now, gadgets on top of gadgets on top of gadgets over the years. I don't think there's a gadget that she kept and repeatedly used. I think all of her gadgets that she had, she used once. That was it. Now, I got this purposely to see how often is Mother going to use this. I highly doubt it she's going to use it any more than maybe twice. We will see. So, maybe in a future video, we'll get Mother to use this and see how often she's going to use it from there, from that point onward. If she ever has a yard sale, show up. This will probably be in the yard sale. So if you didn't want to order it on Amazon, just wait till Mother has a yard sale. You'll probably get it for like $2. So we will see. Cast iron, beautiful. Look at that. That is beautiful. Well, if you couldn't already tell, this mac and cheese cooked perfectly. Beautiful cheesy taste. You do have the taste of the ranch seasoning, but you can't figure it out that it's ranch. This is amazing. Beautiful crust. Just amazing crust. I love the crust. Oh yeah. You might not see it real good, but the cheese is definitely melted and incorporated throughout the macaroni. And I mean, this is a plate full, and that was only a small section right down through. So the entire dish, that's going to get a ton of meals. Vacuum pack it, freeze it. So those 2 cans of milk, all that cheese, 3 blocks of cheese. I mean, one person ain't sitting down and eating that cast iron pot of mac and cheese because it's very, very thick. I really hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did, check out the video over here. It's off our fish stew. Again, something that's traditional to Newfoundland, but maybe very unique to you. Check it out, and we'll see you in our next video.